Well, like, for example, D.L. Hughley was on a few months ago.
Right.
And he said that every comedian steals jokes to a certain degree. He said at one point he was stealing Robin Harris's jokes, and Tommy Davidson confronted him about it.
Right.
And he had to just take it because it was true. I mean, he was mad, but it was true. And for example, Carlos Mencia has been on my show a couple of times. I think he got affected by this whole joke stealing thing more than anyone else. Like, he really had a profound impact on his career. He went from doing huge venues, having a show on Comedy Central, to doing small clubs in Middle America. You know, and now he's worked his way back, you know, into Vegas and stuff like that. But when Joe Rogan went on stage and did that whole "you steal jokes" routine, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Number one, do you think that Carlos was actually stealing jokes?
Yeah. Yeah. They would show the difference.
Okay.
Where I have a problem with that is I want somebody to show me where I stole a joke. We all have the same premises. There's a guy that I looked up real quick, and I'm not holding no punches, I'll say his name, which was Earthquake.
Okay.
I looked up to him. I think that he's a brilliant joke, but we had a show in Jersey, and we were under the same, agency, and I did a joke there where he was on the show, and I got a standing ovation for the joke. And he did a special and did the same joke. I called him. I said, "Hey, brother, who wrote that joke for you?" And he said, I called him at 3 o'clock in the morning. He picked up. And he said to me, "We don't roll in the same thing. I wrote the joke. I didn't hear you say it." So I sent them the clip where I did it on a special that Kevin Hart did for me. And I sent them another clip where I did it. And we never really spoke. I was more hurt than mad. Because, it is what it is. People, he had a special. You might dibble and dabble or whatever, but I tried to talk to him and whatever. And he said he couldn't do it. I'm not going to fight a man. I don't do that no more. So it was what it was. But that's to the extent to where it came from. And there's a lot of jokes that I've done on Def Jam that comedians have revamped. It is what it is. It's a pleasure. It's flattering, should I say.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I talked to TK about this, and he said people use his lines and so forth. Like, he said, Cat Williams did a special, and he said, "Who raised you?" And that was, TK's tagline. But he said he never really cares. He says, from his point of view, stealing a joke for whatever, 30 seconds is whatever. Now, if you steal a whole routine, for 20 minutes, that's a different story. But a joke, as you're going to 10 other jokes, who cares?
Yeah,
and he feels that people are kind of petty a lot of times by making a big deal out of it.
Yeah, that's
because sometimes it really is. We're in the zeitgeist of news and everything else like that. Like, who's not going to have Donald Trump jokes?
Yeah.
Like, who's not going to have Kamala Harris jokes? It's who's not going to have a Diddy baby oil joke these days? Seriously. If you're doing new routines and trying out new material in the clubs, you're probably going to have a Diddy baby oil joke these days.
True.
And did you steal it from the 10 other guys who did it the week before you? No, so I don't know. I'm not a comedian, but I feel a lot of times people are making more of a big deal than it really is.
I agree.